Hello students, in this part we will discuss on female reproductive system. Female reproductive system. A female reproductive system may consist one pair of primary sex organs. In female, the primary sex organs are known as ovary. One pair of primary sex organ. The primary sex organ in female is ovaries. A pair of fallopian tubes. Ovary is the primary sex organs and it functions duals because ovary release female sex hormone estrogen and progesterone. Female sex hormone, and second one is it release ovum or egg. So ovary show dual function. This is the primary sex organ. As the primary sex organ is matured, then we can see that the secondary sexual characters and secondary sexual organs, and those secondary sexual organs or accessory organs are a pair of fallopian tube as well as we can say that oviduct, a uterus, cervix, vagina. These are the secondary sexual organs. Secondary sexual organ. And primary sex organs, a organ is ovary. As well as, rather than this one, there are some glands also present. And those glands such like as mammary glands and Bartholin glands. Glands such as mammary glands and Bartholin gland. These are the secondary sexual organs. We will only discuss about this part, how the secondary sexual organ and ovary may consist in female. First of all, we will talk on ovary. In female, a pair of ovary present in the abdominal cavity, both sides of the vertebral column, and they are found in abdominal cavity. Found in pair, or we can say pair in abdominal cavity or abdominal region. As we have discussed, male testes are found in scrotum, below the abdominal cavity, outside the body, but ovary are inside the body in abdominal cavity, because just like as male there is no surety that female release egg and ovary release egg, they are found outside body. No, ovaries are present in abdominal cavity. The length of each ovary is 2 to 4 centimeter, and they are found in almond shape. Almond shape. The ovary, this is an ovary. Pair of ovary, both sides present, one parts are right and one other one is left. The shape or length of the ovary is 2 to 4 centimeter and shape is almond shape. Ovary remains suspended in abdominal cavity. It means suspended. It means that ovary will remains attached with something, or that something is abdominal cavity. Ovary remains suspended in abdominal cavity with attached some fibers to abdominal cavity. This ovary remains suspended. How is this suspended? It means it is tied up and hanging over. And this hanging over or suspended particles or ovary is attached to the abdominal cavity, some fibers. These fibers are called mesentery as well as mesoverium. Mesoverium. Ovary remains attached to the fibers. Fibers are mesenteries. These fibers or mesenteries are attached to the ovary with the abdominal cavity, that is called mesoverium. One side it attached to the abdominal cavity. Ovary also attached with the uterus wall, and this attachment is called ovarian ligament. Ovarian ligament. So both side ovaries are attached. This attachment makes its position or location definite. One side ovary attached to the uterus, that is called ovarian ligament. Other side ovary attached to the abdominal cavity, those fibers are called mesentery, and that is called mesoverium. Every month ovary release an egg, that is called ovulation. What is ovulation? Every month after gaining maturity. After gaining maturity of female, ovary release an egg every month. Actually, that is not egg. It is secondary oocyte. We can say that egg, but actually when we discuss about this secondary oocyte and egg, we can say that how is the secondary oocyte different from the egg. But according to definition, we can say that every month after gaining maturity, the ovary release an egg, that is called ovulation. Clear? And then the released egg is passed out through ovary to the long pubal structure. This long pubal structure is called fallopian tube. Fallopian tube, as well as we can say that oviduct. So first is ovary. We will discuss only external study. Ovary. What is ovary? Ovary is found in pair, both side of the vertebral column, one towards the right and other one is the left. And the length of ovary 2 to 4 cm, and they are found in almond shape. Ovary remains suspended and attached with the uterus wall, that is called ovarian ligament, and to the abdominal cavity some fibers mesenteries, those are called mesoverium. Every month after gaining the maturity, the female releases secondary oocyte or an egg, that is called ovulation. The next part is fallopian tube or oviduct. These tubes here, you can say that the tubes is 10 to 12 centimeter in length. It means this is the fallopian tube. The length of fallopian tube is 10 to 12 centimeter. The fallopian tube consists 3 zones, 3 regions. 3 zones, which one? The zone which is funicle or funnel-like structure. This funnel-like structure or zone is called infundibulum. The wider part of the fallopian tube near to the ovary is called infundibulum, and this is funnel-like structure. At the anterior end, there are many finger-like projections may present at the infundibulum or fallopian tube. These finger-like projections are called fimbriae. What is the role of fimbriae? Fimbriae hold the egg which is released by the ovary and passed into the fallopian tube. The function of fimbriae is the egg which is released by the ovary is hauled out and sent to the fallopian tube. What do you understand fimbriae? At the infundibulum part of fallopian tube there are many finger-like projections, just like this is the funnel-shaped structures. And at the end there are many finger-like projections. These finger-like projections are called fimbriae. They hold the egg which is released by the ovary and sent into the fallopian tube. And there is one opening. This is the one opening. This is the funnel-like structure, infundibulum. Finger-like projection, fimbriae. But there is opening from where the egg enters into the fallopian tube. This opening is called ostium. Here is one opening. This is called ostium. The egg which is released from ovary enters into the fallopian tube with the help of fimbriae. That opening is called ostium. Just after the infundibulum, the fallopian tube becomes wider. This wider part is called ampulla. And after ampulla, the fallopian tube becomes narrower. And this narrower part is called isthmus. So we can see that there are three zones of fallopian tube. One is infundibulum, that is funnel shape near to the ovary. Then after infundibulum, wider part is called ampulla, and next narrower part of fallopian tube is called isthmus. The fertilization of egg can take place between the junction of ampulla and isthmus. We also can say that the fertilization of egg can take place at the ampulla. Also can say that. But the main location site where the fertilization of egg take place between the ampulla and isthmus, or we can say that it is the junction between the ampulla and isthmus where the egg fertilized. And after fertilization, the egg moves from here. Egg released from ovary, if hair is fertilized or not. Egg moves through this fallopian tube. The movement of egg is known as peristalsis movement. How this peristalsis movement can be shown here? There are many fine hair, thin, tiny hairs present. Those are called cilia. So egg moves in fallopian tube with the help of cilia, and that movement is called peristalsis movement. The egg which move in fallopian tube with the help of cilia, and that movement is called peristalsis movement. The movement which is shown by the egg while it moves in the fallopian tube, that movement is called peristalsis. Then there is a wider hollow part. This hollow wider inverted pear-shaped structure is called uterus. We have already discussed. First we discussed on ovary, then pair of fallopian tube. We have already discussed the pair of fallopian tube consists 3 zones and what is the part. And second one, next one is uterus. Uterus. It is also called womb. Hystera. Uterus is also known as womb, hystera, etc. It is a hollow inverted pear-shaped structure. This hollow inverted pear-shaped structure is called uterus. And uterus consists 3 layers. Uterus is covered by 3 layers. Which one? The outer layer, that is called perimeterium. This is the outer layer. The second layer, which is called myometrium, and the innermost layer of uterus is called, which is folding, which has many folding, and it shows many cyclic conditions also, cyclic changes also. In we can see that many cyclic changes can be seen in endometrium. We discuss uterus is a hollow inverted pear-shaped structure which is called womb hysteria. Uterus consists covered with three membranes. The outer membrane is called perimetrium, middle membrane is called myometrium, and innermost membrane is called endometrium. Endometrium show many cyclic changes. It means when there is menstruation cycle can take place, endometrium also break down. That we will discuss later. These are three layers. And there are three zones of uterus also. Three layers covered, three zones also found in the uterus. The upper part which is swollen, this zone is called fundus. Uterus consists three zones, three parts. Uterus covered with three layers. These three layers are perimetrium, myometrium, and endometrium. These are the three protecting layers. As well as uterus consists three zone, three parts. First part, that is the upper swollen part, which is called fundus. It is a dome structure. And second one, this middle zone, this all middle zone is called medulla. This is the second zone. First zone is fundus, second one is medulla. And at last, this part is called cervix. So we can say that there are three parts of uterus: fundus, medulla, and cervix. Three layers cover the uterus. Those three layers are perimetrium, myometrium, and endometrium. Cervix is a hard, contractible sphincter muscle. It contains hard sphincter muscle. And this canal, the canal which is present in cervix, is called cervical canal. The cervical canal opens one side towards the outer vagina, and other one is the uterus. Inside, so we can say there are two openings. One opening which opens the cervix to uterus. This is called internal OS. OS stands for orifice. The opening in which cervix opens into the uterus inner side, that is called internal OS, as well as we can say the internal orifice. And other one which opens into the vagina, this opening is called external OS, as well as external orifice. The cervical canal which opens towards the inner side to uterus, that is called internal OS, and cervical canal which opens to the vagina outside, that is called external OS or external orifice. This cervical canal contains many hard contractible sphincter muscles. These sphincter muscles help in the delivery or parturition of the baby. And finally, the cervix and next tubular part that opens outside is called vagina. In female, vagina show dual function. But which one? One, it is help in mating or copulation. And second one, vagina is also called birth canal. It helps in mating or during sexual contact. And second one is, it is also called birth canal. And then outer part, this outer zone is called vulva. Vulva is the external part of female reproductive system. At the vulva, there is a thin membrane also present. At the vulva in vagina, there is a thin membrane present. This thin membrane is called hymen. In some countries, hymen is resembled to hymen is connected to the virginity. If some female has hymen at the time of marriage, then they show that this female is a virgin. Otherwise, in some countries, it is said that the female has already sexual contact, but it is a myth. Hymen may burst during the cycling, race, or we can say that horse racing. During the cycle, any jolt and inserted, then hymen may burst. Hymen is a thin membrane, but some connected this hymen to the virginity. The female which doesn't have any sexual contact, it means the female which doesn't have any sexual contact, the hymen remains persist. But during the mating process, it may burst. This is only a myth. The hymen may be burst if the female is any athlete, such like take part in the horse racing as well as cycling. Clear? This is the female reproductive system external part. In next part, we will discuss on internal structure of ovary.